Paimon ni sabe qué estamos haciendo. Lo mencionamos en voz alta. Ahora, sí, dirígete a la casa dorada. Tenemos un problema. Agua. Hay que pensar esto antes de hacerlo. Agua. Ujú. ¿Qué? ¿Estás bien? Yelan... No por el momento. Podría hacer este cambio solo para mantenerme con
We'll
vida.
need a strategy.
Buen escudo. Básicamente voy a atacar solo con Keikin. Es que me gustaría alguien de fuego. Xianling, te lo voy a
Bring
dejar a
my
ti.
seasonings.
Vamos a dejártelo a ti, pero vamos a subirte un poquito, por favor. Te ves como pequeñita. Crece. Y si se puede subir más, crece más. ¡Crece más! Ser la más alta de todas. Tener un poder incalculable, será superior. Solo 5 niveles, bueno, está bien. Arma. Sube la tope. A full. A full. Sigue subiendo. Espérate. Sigue subiendo. Muy bien. Más potencia. Más poder. Una. Solo una. A ver, esta es de miércoles, sábado, domingo. Sábado, domingo. Es de color... esas se pueden fabricar, ¿no? A ver. Voy a dejar el directo cuando termine el capítulo. Me falta poco. Probablemente. ¡Hiup! ¿Qué onda, Sucrose? Tenemos... ¿Dónde está? A ver, de estas. Pero de estas necesito 3 de estas. ¿En serio no tengo ni una? Vamos a hacerlas. ¿Puedo? Who knows? Vamos a ver. Ah, esta. Me suena. Un poquito. Muy bien. Hielo, fuego, rayo. Entonces aquí metemos aquí un momentico.
Let's go. Time is against us.
Sí. Son de agua, vale, ok. La cosa es que... muchos de estos que nunca leo, a lo mejor van a decir en algún momento: no uses este elemento porque si no se van a curar instantáneamente la vida de los enemigos. Y yo, sí, salto. Y lo voy a hacer.
Hold the line.
Báñame. Uno más. Claro. Muy bien, ahora ponemos escuditos, sé que son de agua, así que bien.
Incoming.
Ahí
Think you
están.
can get away? With sword comes shadow.
Qué bonito se ve eso.
Can't handle your drink. Shake it and
Tenga.
stir. Don't blink. Allow me. Yahoo!
Un bonito ataque descendente. Ahí está. ¡Tachán! No voy a llegar, ¿verdad? Cierto, no voy a llegar, pero si mato a uno, me dan tiempo por uno. Y así con cada uno.
Time for takeoff. Think you can bully me?
¿En serio?
Let's play. Speed of light.
¿Dónde está el otro? Aquí estás.
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink. Hey!
Qué fácil la dueña. Pues tenemos... Oh, perfecto. Vale, gracias. Muy bien, ahora Xianling. Arma. Súbeme esa cosa. Refinado y martillado. Nice. ¡Al tope! Al tope. Oh, Dios santo, mira cuánto pide. Ok. Sí. Nice, ahora pide muchas más cosas, pero con esto es suficiente. Muy bien. 50 va a poder aguantar, supongo. Tú vas a tener... Vamos a hacer un cambio de artefacto. Ya que Yelan no va a entrar, hacemos cambio con Yelan. Ya que de verdad no tengo nada equipado con nadie, así que pues... Físico, defensa... Sí, defensa, perfecto. Ataque. Post-ataque, supongo. En fin, esto te queda bien. Talentos. No subió nunca nada. Vamos a subirte cosas. Pironado, mira eso. No. 20, ¿en serio no te subió nada? Oh, Dios mío. Bueno, no han llegado hasta arriba. Güey, ¿por qué no subes? Güey, ¿por qué no subes?
Good work.
Ah, pinche mentira. Diona, ¿algo que subir? Todo está a tope, vale. Y usted, señora, la segunda ascensión. No, bueno, podremos aguantar. Quizás. Tal vez. Ya que sube todo eso. Ok, ahora Kekin para el banquillo. Espera, antes de eso. Nice. Kekin al banquillo. Siéntese. Vamos a ir con la señorita. ¿Dónde está?
I can't wait any longer.
No, está bien. Probablemente. No hay que preocuparse. ¿Por qué debería estar preocupado? Hay que llegar hasta ahí. A ver, vamos a pata porque no hay forma de llegar. ¿Por qué ponen los puntos tan alejados del TP? Muy bien, vamos a pie. Es súper importante que lleguemos en 3 segundos porque sí, te hace mucho texto. A ver, por cierto, esto era por esto, ¿no? Eso, que me estaba molestando visualmente. Yelan, ¿por qué no estás aquí? Me ayudarías a correr. ¿Por qué no vais por el camino? ¿Qué me pasa? Estoy retrasado. Hay un camino recto, en línea recta que va hacia allá y yo voy a ir por la... Sí, yo soy de monte. Ay, por Dios. A ver. Ahí está la casa dorada. Genial. Llegué por atrás porque sí o pues soy. En lugar de llegar de frente, yo los asusto. No lo sé. ¡Vuela, por Dios! Ok. La casa dorada. Aquí estamos. Esto va a ser bonito. Ay, bonito, bonito. Sombra dorada. Equipo de nivel 47 recomendado. Sí. Tengo una 45 y el resto está un poquito bajo. Solo un poquito. Tampoco es como que... Por favor. Nos van a hacer comer tierra. Muy bien.
Wow. This is the golden house?
It is.
It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of more
Sí, no hablemos del cuerpo o del tipo que está por allá tirado. En plan, sí, el dinero. Pinche Paimon.
This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing.
Si mueves un dedo estamos acabadas. Si fuera tan fácil habrían vaciado este lugar hace mucho tiempo.
Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here.
Así no me van a matar por intentar robar.
But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right?
Paimon, ¿pa' qué cara venimos aquí?
Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true.
Tengo un extraño presentimiento sobre este lugar.
Oh, right. Back to business.
Obvio.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia.
Puede.
Huh? Look! What happened here?
Parecen haber perdido el conocimiento. Ya, el conocimiento.
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble.
¿Tú crees?
Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Yo la veo muy bien. Creo. Digo, ¿esos son unas grietas? ¿Alguien lo estaba golpeando? Supongo. Choque de intereses. Inspecciona la exuvia. Choque de intereses. No empezamos bien con el título. Bueno, pues... la música. Hablando del dinero... No me va a poder. Yo no soy Paimon.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Child, esa es tu voz.
Huh? Who's there?
El child.
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself.
Pero, ¿cómo no?
But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Perdón. Para empezar, mejor amigo que nos da dinero sin pedir nada a cambio. ¿Cómo llegaste hasta aquí? Veo que llegué justo en el momento indicado. Oh, mírala, como... Uy.
Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location. Don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort?
Podría... No, la verdad no.
Stopping the Mora Mints. Hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
Tenía pinta, por algo se estaba acercando a nosotros, ¿no?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled.
Sabes que está mal, te voy a golpear.
She will get that which she desires.
No lo permitiré. No dejaré que te acerques a la exuvia. No lo permitiré.
I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway.
¿Dices tú?
The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Pinche tú.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished.
Sí, lo sé.
Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions.
Pero tú no. Tú eres de pelear, ¿no?
But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
Ay.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Tú no vas a hacer nada, Paimon. Cállate y deja de provocar.
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle.
Dices tú.
Besides, you could never defeat me. Not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway. Because if you ask me, without that, what else is there?
Que no podré ver. Es que este se la... Te voy a partir y lo voy a disfrutar. Así, va a ser entretenido, güey. ¿Sabes? Pinche gol atrás.
Fighting talk, I love it.
Obvio.
Now let's see you live up to it.
Te lo digo a ti. Pinche child.
This chance is hard to come by.
Toma.
So show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me. And don't you dare disappoint.
Nice and spicy.
How unbecoming.
Vaya que complicado de elegir.
Let's play.
Cowering already?
¿Puedes parar? En plan, ¿qué molestas?
Celestial Voyager.
Me tiras una ballena porque quise.
Look at you, Bootown. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. You're toast. Yahoo!
¿Sabes qué? Voy a hacer esto.
Let's move out. Here we go.
Pues.
How unbecoming.
Boba, get them.
Me encanta como el oso te está matando mientras yo estoy esquivando.
A clear shot.
¡Ah! Por Dios, sí me pegó.
Hold the line.
Respeto.
Try
Into
this.
the fire. Brace yourselves. Snatch. Yahoo!
Cowering already?
Nice and spicy.
Ya se te acabó.
Some progress.
Perfecto.
Not bad. You've got a trigger.
¿No está mal?
Good.
Con
No wonder
engaño, pues.
Senora was so wary of you.
Vente,
Well,
pues.
that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Ahora te mostraré qué puedo hacer. Ok.
No use hiding back there.
Oh, tía.
Allow me.
Au. Estoy bien.
Something else catch your eye?
Boba, get them. Eat this. Covenant of the deep.
All you do is run.
Au.
A brash maneuver.
No pensé que te haría tanto daño, ¿sabes?
Here we
No
go.
use hiding back there.
Au.
Nice and spicy. Hold the line.
Got you.
Au.
Oh dear.
All you do is run.
Au.
This.
Ah, sí, sí, igualito, como sucedió justo ahora. Claro.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive.
Paimon, ¿por qué estás tan cerca?
That's about as far as you'll get.
Mira eso. Qué OP que soy. En serio, usar dos habilidades a la vez sería genial si lo pudiera usar en el juego con mi prota. En plan, tirejeo luego del anemo. ¿Qué por
Didn't
Dios?
think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected.
No importa
Well
lo que
then,
haga.
I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected.
Ajá.
You beat me to it, didn't you?
Acabo de llegar. Oye, relájate. ¿Cómo llegaste allá? El tortas, míralo. Ok, se emocionó. Mírale al tortas. No va a ir, el 1/10 de los Fatui. Podría quitarme del suelo, ¿no? Bueno, me caí. Pegué la cara del piso. Podría haber muerto ya, ¿no? Pero... estoy bien, estoy bien. Joder, mierda. Chairo, tú. ¿El qué de qué?
Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the golden house to me on purpose? No matter.
Ow.
And your nose is over now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it.
Ow.
Can't handle your drink. Here we go.
Vente y deja de morir. Eres el arconte. Oh, por Dios. Podrías no ser...
Let's move out.
Había un logro porque no te pegara mientras tenías la marca esa. Bueno, me va a caer encima.
Rest and rebuild.
Au.
Think you can bully me? Let's go, let's go. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Brace yourself.
Él es de rayo y de agua justo ahora, pero me da un poco igual, quiero decir, no tengo mejor que... no. A ver. Relájate, relájate. Ajá. Pues no. Venga, ¿te gusta? Genial el disco ese. Que Goba es OP, Goba no pierde contra...
Rest and rebuild. You're toast.
Estás tostado, me dice.
Time for takeoff.
¿Te gusta esta? ¿Te gusta esta? El Child. Oh, tía, mira eso.
Let's go.
Te lo dejo a ti.
Uphill battle. Billowing surge.
Casi, pero no.
Shaking ass. Brace yourself.
Gracias. Lo que sea, cómete.
Hold the line.
¿Te gustan mis pinchitos?
Into the fire.
Chairo, tú. Desde que te mueres. Lo que me gustaría es que me dieras más
Let's move out.
cosa elemental. Ya que no me está saliendo casi nada.
A brash maneuver. Brace yourself.
Ah,
Think you can
lindo.
get away?
Some you win, and some you lose.
Por favor. Eres débil. Eres débil.
Look, Child's back to normal again.
Child, eres débil.
Well then, time to cool off.
Justo ahora que dices eso, me dan unas ganitas de patearte la cara. En plan, no por nada en especial, no es que me quisieras apuñalar antes. Ni nada. ¡Pam! Una patada en la cara y estupidez contigo.
It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through.
Sí, lo siento. Pero ¡pum! En la cara te voy a meter una patada. Excusate, tontería ni
And now
nada.
that I consider the matter more carefully, You never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
No sé de ello, así que pues...
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Lo que pasa es que eres estúpido. Pateale la cara.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Esta es la respuesta que quiero. Por favor, prota, quiero que llegue el final y seas... ¡ah! Y lance, no sé, una genkidama elemental y tú digas... ¡prum! Oh, por Dios, que opere. Pero es que, pues, por ahora... somos... dispensables. Bueno, no vamos a decir
You
nada.
already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes.
Lo sé, lo sé.
But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity.
Hablando de eso, se supone que queremos restaurar mi poder original. Mi poder original era el poder de los 7 elementos. Era un poder que solo se restaura si tengo los 7 elementos. ¿Por qué razón estoy reuniendo los 7 elementos? Mi hermano también tiene los 7 elementos. Mi hermano está con los malos. Es por eso que tiene los 7 elementos. Paimon fue la que nos dijo: oye, ¿por qué no tocas la estatua esa? A lo mejor pasan cosas raras. Nunca le ha pasado a nadie y yo soy una persona random de por ahí. ¿Por qué pasaría algo? No lo sé. ¿Por qué no la tocas? ¿Tiene que ver con los 7 elementos?
This battle has already left me satisfied.
Sí. Bueno, te voy a volver a golpear la
Anyone
próxima.
who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
No eres mi amigo, te voy a golpear.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
No, ponga la cara. No lo digo, pensarán que es broma, no, en serio. Te voy a patear la cara. Es que, por Dios.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons.
No que tú digas.
Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with.
¿Cómo así?
In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
¿Cómo?
What? So you mean that...
¿Los restos eran falsos?
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts.
Mira cómo le aplaude.
As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
¿Y eso es?
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process.
Los débiles.
The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak.
Ok.
Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
¿Qué?
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
God?
¿Por qué?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since.
¿Pa qué?
If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity,
Pues se cargaría todo lo que hubiera en camino.
do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
No, pero eres estúpido. Quiero decir,
But
en plan, tiene
the
sentido,
Archon
pero...
War ended
eres
2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Pues magia.
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Oh, Dios mío, tiene 17 de esos. Mira eso. Si hubiera usado eso en combate, probablemente estaría muerto.
Hey, those are sigils of permission.
Pinche cheto, tramposo.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Lo he visto con mis propios ojos.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research.
El que me diste, no el que te dieron.
With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle.
Joder, lo hace sonar como que, bueno, cualquiera de los 11 podría tener un montón de estos sellos y, bueno, pues estaríamos a nivel de la Contigo, tu madre.
Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, That makes matters a little more intriguing.
Justo en este momento en el que está diciendo todo este discurso muy de villano. Oh no, sería una pena que ¡pum! Piedra en el piso y sale la piedra gigante, ya saben, en la que puedo spawnear desde el suelo hacia arriba como pues personaje geo y lo tiro al aire. ¡Uah! Y me acerco a su... y lo pateo, en serio. Tengo ganas de patear al pinche Child. ¿Por qué no lo haces? Mira cómo estoy haciendo cosas. ¿Por qué te tardas tanto en hacer cosas? Es que no me ganaste, claro. Pero perdiste. Pero es que me dejé ganar, claro. Digamos que sí. Aún así, podrías haber hecho algo, disque aventurera. Para estar muy dormido tardaste medio segundo en esparecer, ¿no? En plan...
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Y después están los que dicen, no, pero es que Child es muy buena gente, quiero decir que le
He's already gone. That guy is fast.
No, esas cosas que pasan porque tenía que hacer una...
What's
Ah,
going
qué
on?
bonito. Bueno, sí se mueve la cosa esta. Bueno, pues monstruo gigante apareció. Hoshial. Oh, sí.
Paimon's exhausted.
¿Por qué? ¿Por no pelear? ¿Por caminar? ¿Por escalar? ¿Se parece un poco a... Caos?
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go.
Oh, sí, se ve solo azul.
Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
No. ¿Todo bien? Algo.
What are you doing here?
No lo sé, pregúntale a la que nos trajo.
Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
¿Qué pelea?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Miren. Están las aves. Esto no es un ave, pero algo, casi.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue?
¿A puños?
Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
Es que ves el,
From all the way out here.
ves el cielo en el centro en plan, estoy bien, y el resto del cielo estoy inundado por la oscuridad y es como,
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without
Obvio.
shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle.
Obvio, quiero decir, es al parecer, lo dices como si fuera tan normal, ¿no?
Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary.
Estópete, Paimon. ¿Quién dijo que eran enemigos? En plan, siempre se ha dicho lo de la guerra de los arcontes y probablemente vamos a volver al mismo punto por todas las regiones hasta que lleguemos al final. Pero hubo una guerra de arcontes. Alguien dijo, solo pueden haber 7 elementos, así que entre elementos vean quién es más mejor, menos peor. Y ahí se mataron entre todos. No sabemos si solo mataron a gente que estaba, ya saben, haciendo el mal. Digo, no lo sabemos del todo. Y aunque nos digan, no, nunca fue así. Por los que son viejos y tienen esa edad, no nos van a decir toda la verdad. Pero bueno. Como dice el Shadow.
So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
No, pero bueno.
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
Chenle hielo.
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here.
Aquí están.
For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
Ok.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for.
Supongo.
So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it.
Ya que están.
We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Ningún haz tu magia.
Yep.
Cosas que no puedes hacer en el juego. Mira ese teletransporte y todo. Una arena de combate. ¿Por qué? Porque claramente es necesaria. Digo, tenemos suficiente con el esfuerzo que tenemos. One. Y 3 balistas clonadas porque... Ningún, ¿cuál es tu poder en general? No eres solo geo, tú haces magia, te teletransportas, haces cosas raras. Ah, pero cuando estás jugando, tiras piedritas. Modo disparo super bien. Ah, se murió. Bueno, fue divertidamente duro. ¿O no?
The Fatui!
Siempre.
Attacking the Guizhong ballista!
Los veo, los veo. Sí, ayúdame. Ah, voy caminando. No. Por Dios, mira esa imagen. Muy bien.
The 3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
Sí, 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 ya lo
All
escuchamos.
able Millilith, with me! Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? What wishes to witness?
Au. Eres de agua y te estoy dando con agua, mira eso.
It isn't time for breaking my work.
Guava, eres OP.
Finished.
Pues más gente. Disparale, el amor de Dios.
Hold the line.
Se quieto, vale.
Yahoo!
Usted cállese.
Time for takeoff.
Wow, me encanta. Dispararle a la nada. Bueno, aquí estamos caminando. ¿Y cómo está usted? ¿Todo bien?
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be
Ok.
careful not to get hit.
Ya. A ver, no esperaba que tuviera un rango completo de la pantalla. Eso fue todo. Vaya, pero
The
eso fue.
Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
Sí, ya lo vi.
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Déjeme. Au.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too!
Un poquito.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Pues sí, eso fue lo que dije. Se acaba de morir.
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy!
Gas de energía adéptica, ni siquiera lo leí.
body. It's like the time in Julian Karst! Wow! It's Madame Pink's shockwave! This grid is really strong!
A ver, Venti no se puede morir justo cuando están pasando cosas épicas. ¿No? En plan, ¡buah! Mira qué épico.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
No, no moleste.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Me encanta como hay ondas sónicas de la nada. ¡Oh, espérate! Modo Xiao.
Get back into it.
Nice and spicy!
Not going anywhere.
Ah, por favor, muérase.
Yahoo! With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil.
Todas tus habilidades de supervivencia
Cast your
aumentan
fear of
considerablemente.
injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
¿Qué láser fue ese?
He's like in a fight.
My name means swiftness.
¡Oh, por Dios!
Take my power and run as I do.
Considerablemente, sí, se nota. Paimon, tú no estás haciendo nada. En plan, agradezco que digas que estamos teniendo poderes super épicos y tal, pero Paimon, no estás ayudando en nada. A velocidad de la luz. ¡Oh! ¡Oh! Se me había olvidado. Que en plan, corre por mucho tiempo por... Joder, qué forma de hacerlo, ¿no? Épico, mira eso.
You are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of
Gracias a la bendición,
energy
controlar
at
los 3
once.
poderes a la vez. Ahora soy súper rápido, soy súper fuerte y ahora puedo hacer
Please bear with us.
esta kill ahí, mira, súper.
Once you've adapted, try to use
Mira
that
esa
back.
metralleta. Tra, por favor. Tin, épico.
Brace yourself.
Pam. Tornadito para
Time
usted.
for takeoff.
Venga. Tan. Mira lo que puedo hacer con esta cosita, por favor. Se muere todo el mundo. Dios mío. Se muere todo el mundo, me incluyo.
Shake it, hamster. Think you can get away?
¿Cómo es
Would
esta?
it gliding you faster? Look at you! Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Ajá. Sí, eso es lo que significa. No le aguantan.
Yahoo! Brace yourself.
Ya casi me destruye mi balista. Corre.
Time
Tornadito.
for takeoff.
Ah, ¿no? Vale, 40 segundos, ya no queda nada.
Can't handle your drink.
¡Hostia, pero pedazo de brazo! ¡Mira eso! Se van a morir, se les queda otro de esos. 30 segundos.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades. Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Muy bien, ya nos quedan 20 segundos, ya no queda nada. Se murieron. Hasta aquí llegamos. Es que aquí estamos matándolos a los Fatui.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
¡Bam! Mira esa Kamehame. ¡Wow! No fue suficiente.
Working. We just need to keep this up.
¿Tú crees? Es como el anterior, pero un poquito más grande. Oye, Dios santo. Bueno. Corren, güeyes. No sé ni cómo los guardias llegaron hasta aquí. Ok. Bueno. ¿Va a enfocar? ¿Para algo así? ¡Hostia! Bueno, no funciona. ¿Ahora qué? Si teletransporte,
Be
¿sí?
careful now.
The Guizhong ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
Joder, pero es que mira, aquí todo el mundo se teletransporta y no lo hacen en el juego.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
Dime tú.
I understand.
Vale.
Traveler, lend me a hand.
¿Y yo por qué?
Farewell, old friend.
Muy bien, dame toda
Goodbye
su
for
energía.
now. Let us meet again in the future.
Modo supremo y todo. Con la espada más básica posible. Ahí está, se la clava y se muere. Ok, supongo que nos salvamos. Claro que sí. Se nota. Pues la gente tiene todo el mundo tiene teletransporte aquí. ¿Qué es esto? Me acabo de dar cuenta de esto, por Dios. ¿Y nosotros? ¿Para qué? Bueno, no estuvo nada mal. Quiero decir, combate contra el Child y le tiramos la nave a...
Finally over?
Sí, el cielo se ve normal, así que supongo que le habrá dolido. Y con la explosión nuclear, a lo mejor.
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade.
O sea, ¿sé que se está muriendo o que está durmiéndose?
The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time.
Pero son tan peligrosos que si eso llegase a pasar en algún otro lugar, en alguna otra región, otra vez, a lo mejor sería peligroso. Porque probablemente esos fueron de práctica, pero...
It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
Pues no está muerto.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Al final lo del Novail los unió más que hacer que se pelearan.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Están peleando, pero con la música de fondo no parece que fuera el momento perfecto para ello.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer.
Mira.
I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber.
At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now.
Que conocen ahora. ¿Qué hay ahora? Ella sigue sonriendo, pero sabemos que ella está sufriendo. Todas las notas que dejé ahí. El dinero. Probablemente el dinero no sea el problema, pero todo lo anterior sí.
It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing.
Era, es que la gente no está recordando que la acabamos de destruir.
Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations.
Bueno. Algo.
Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
Perdón.
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
Sí. Y le muerde la cara.
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
Pues sí, soy Liyuana.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
Me oí un momento y ya hay furros hablando. Son cosas que pasan. Ay, bueno. Sí.
What?
Sí, se me apareció.
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Tenía mellito.
Oh, Ningguang.
Está chiquito. Todos estamos en la misma posición ahora. ¿Posición? ¿Cuál? ¿De qué me hablas? ¿Qué estamos hablando? ¿Qué pasó?
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
El momento en que hay discordia entre los protectores y los protegidos, la armonía se vuelve difícil de restaurar.
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Eso es lo que aprendimos en la capital de la libertad. Claro, eso. No que el arconte es un alcohólico y todo eso.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Supongo, y las iremos viendo.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity.
Pues sí.
As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
¿Cómo? ¿Perdón?
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
Porque el Shadow del Genshin no quiere. Eso para empezar con uno.
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
Un random.
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti.
Un random de la policía.
I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Pues nice.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Algo así.
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there.
Ay, qué linda como la
When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty.
Ay, qué bonito.
Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern ride.
No, por Dios, el rito de la linterna.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
¿Por qué? Porque no quiero.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Míralo. Qué edgy. Se le va a ir la cámara. Se detiene, se detiene, se detiene, se detuvo.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Pues no, es que...
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Estaba cerca, por eso fue que vinimos.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Finalmente están tratando de entender el corazón de la gente. ¿Sí o no?
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Siempre. Porque tengo que hacer cosas. Como ver a la ventana en una posición seria. Ya sabes.
Yes, one understands what the conqueror of demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation.
Pues visítenla más.
One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition.
Podría seguir viendo.
Fair enough. Away we shall.
Que me da
And
flojera.
return whence we came.
Ok. Ok.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further.
Ok.
But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
Pues puedes venir a visitar, nadie te dice lo contrario. XD. No voy a tomar el poder porque lo haría.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
Fueron bastante razonables al final.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing.
¿De qué? ¿De mi hermano? ¿O del arconte?
Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out.
Sí, el arconte no se mostró.
But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up.
Te acabas de dar cuenta de que... No me había dado cuenta, pero aquí Kekin, Ganyu y Ningguang acaban de escuchar lo que acabas de decir. Que Rex Lapis Perdón, que está bien.
Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too?
Que no está muerto. Ya veo. Y sigue en su camino.
Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Por el amor de Dios, yo creo que lo voy a dejar aquí mucho texto. Ya llevo casi 3 horas. 3 horas. En plan, queda literalmente 1 minuto para que sean 3 horas. Voy a llegar hasta allá y se va a hacer 3 horas y lo voy a cortar. En plan, ¿no puede ser más largo el capítulo? El mucho texto es extensivo, ¿no? Pero hicimos bastante. Digo, la última vez ni siquiera habíamos terminado las cosas. Luchamos contra el Nobile. Le tiramos una piedra gigante al Ocial. Y ya, ahora vamos a descubrir quién es el arconte. Pero lo descubriremos en el siguiente, que todo el mundo sabe quién es el arconte. En plan, ya es obvio. Quiero decir, aunque sea nuevo. Oh, sí, ¿quién será el arconte? ¿Verdad? Guiño, guiño. En plan, ¿qué? ¿Dices que yo soy el arconte? ¿Por qué lo sería? A ver, terminemos con esto.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangshan Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
¿Cómo que huéspedes? ¿Muertos?
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Bueno, fue para el banco.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble.
Podría. Paimon, ¿te has dado cuenta de que tus ojos son como estrellas? Me refiero a las luces de dentro. En plan, se ve muy cielo, espacio, constelaciones.
We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Pues. Ay, yo llevo 3 horas aquí. Que pico este video en YouTube en 3 partes. Soy capaz. En lugar de 2, en 3. A ver, ahora sí puedo correr tranquilamente. Voy a buscar a la señora corredora.
It's time to pull the trigger.
Podría picarlo en muchas partes el capítulo, la verdad, así que sin problema. Damn. Espérate, estaba aquí el banco. No llegó hasta ahí, en las escaleras. ¿Cuáles escaleras? Descúbrelo, ok. Vamos a terminarlo y lo cortaré en 17 partes, pues.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Sí.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land?
Chaos control.
I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Los friendos.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you're also one of the harbingers?
¡Señora!
It's you two.
Sí.
I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name.
Difícil olvidarlo. Le pateaste el estómago.
Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No puedo recuperarla. Mejor cállate.
No, don't let her get to you.
Podría hacerlo.
You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle.
Paimon, antes quería patear a Chong, al chao este. El nobile. Te voy a bofetear, por el amor de Dios. Cállate y deja de decir cosas importantes en voz alta.
So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Patada en la cara.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui harbinger.
No es cierto. Paimon, deja de confiar en la gente, deja de confiar en el dinero, deja de comer. No, tampoco así, pero por Dios, Paimon, deja.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally.
No, no es porque sea uno personal, pero eso no quita que no me caigas bien.
Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you.
Claro, no es mi culpa.
The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
¿Nobile fue engañado por Zhongli?
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here.
Haz lo que tienes que
You
hacer.
remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
¿Qué acuerdo?
What in the world are you talking about?
La cara de mi personaje.
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee.
Una gnosis. Oh, por Dios. ¿Ya puedo darle? Déjame darle.
How sanctimonious.
Justo como pensaba. Era bastante obvio, en plan. Quiero decir, si no mucha gente se dio cuenta de que ese era el arconte hasta este momento, es que por Dios.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo?
Prota, ¿por qué la ves con esa cara? Bueno.
No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
Porque hicimos un trato. ¿Cuál es el trato?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Es un contrato entre la Tsaritsa y tú. Y va a ser bastante curioso que la Tsaritsa después no nos vaya a poder decir cuál fue el contrato, ¿verdad? Ay, pinche Zhongli. Me temo que no entiendo.
Yeah, you don't think you went went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Liyue goes into an uproar.
Justo ahora
Talk about a disaster.
Ok, Paimon, gracias. Justo ahora Sonny tiene esa cara de prota que va a apuñalarte en plan... ¿Sabes? No se le ven los ojos, en plan... Lo siento. ¡Sueño! Nos pica la mitad los dos.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see. Am I right?
Wait, what?
Pardon?
Perhaps it's best that I explain.
Obvio.
As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come.
No es por decir que no, y esto es importante para nosotros, pero los Fatuis están en plan, escuchemos lo que dice esta persona, porque es bastante importante. No nos podemos ir, no, está hablando, es parte del lore. Es como cuando te voy a apuñalar, pero primero te contaré una historia, y te empiezan a contar la historia y todos los guardias se quedan esperando. Nadie hace nada, todo el mundo se queda en plan, y hasta que no termina no dice, ahora sí te mataré.
Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day."
Me sorprende que no hayas escuchado eso desde hace 2000 años al menos.
I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
¿Qué sé yo?
Oh, Zhongli.
Está chiquito.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer.
A ver, con la música que está sonando, parece que él fuera un villano también.
So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
¿Y si todo se hubiera terminado en desastre, tenías otro plan?
That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
¿En cuánto? ¿2 días? Como un poco intensos, ¿no?
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for.
Porque estaba yo ahí.
Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Chising, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler.
Vale, y ahora que tu contrato terminó con ella, ¿la puedo apuñalar y patear al otro?
All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Chising. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
¿Te parece bueno que?
That doesn't sound good at all.
Y yo sigo con mi cara de molesto. Es que yo no he dejado de ver a señora en plan. Sí, te cuento.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
Pues no, la verdad, no. No tenemos problemas contigo. Nadie se siente mal.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
Vergüenza me debería estar en tu posición. Voy a aprovecharme de esto.
Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Pues no lo he escuchado. Míralo, qué tonto.
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty.
¿El palacio de dónde?
Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Bueno. No lo apuñalé.
Is there anything else you wish to ask me?
¿Qué precio podría pagarse a cambio de una gnosis? ¿Qué te dio el arconte crío a cambio de tu gnosis?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a gnosis.
Ajá.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it.
Y eso es...
My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Claro. Básicamente, te enterarás. No hay problema. Gracias a preguntarle algo y que te digan, te enterarás. Sal del banco. La madre de Dios, esto no se va a terminar nunca.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Sí, lo sería, pero lo voy a cortar. Por el amor de Dios, sé que faltan aquí y un mucho... No, Dios, ya me duele el cerebro. Ya estoy muerto. Ya, por favor. Paren. ¿Qué tan lejos está? Está arriba. No quiero, porque me tengo que comer tanto texto en un solo día. 3 horas. Bueno, terminemos. Nos falta mucho. Luego lo voy a dejar. Son randoms que dicen cosas random.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
El Child es un hijo de su madre.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Sí, yo pienso que ese tipo mató al Chongli.
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Qué malas personas son los Fatui siempre.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Es cierto.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Sí, verdad. Parece casualidad.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Yo estoy seguro de que sí, es la misma persona.
Now that you mention it, that's very possible.
Mucho,
Yes, it's very possible indeed.
Esa persona es tipo.
I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel.
Es cierto, esa persona horrible. Por cierto, me encanta cuando en momentos tensos y depresivos la música se pone súper happy. Como... Es una horrible persona, el pinche Nobile Child. Cuando lo vean le escupen.
Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Tenía unos papeles ahí todo mágico y hacía cosas fuchum y cosas raras. Era OP.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Vámonos.
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Alright.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
Dieron que no lo mataron.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot.
Pues XD.
Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything.
Bueno, Paimon lo gritó con Ganyu al lado, con Kekin al lado y con Ningguang también. En plan, no se habrán enterado de ninguna forma. Oye, ¿acaso crees que el Zhongli sigue? Y tú como que, ¿sabes? El tipo ese que está vivo. Y tú, ¿pero deja de gritar, niña?
Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
Puede ser.
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Vamos. Rito de ascenso.
Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
Casualmente las tres personas que nos escucharon a ti gritando.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Among Us. Sus.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? as we build a new age of prosperity.
No sé.
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add? Huh? Is she looking this way?
¿Por qué?
Traveler.
¿Yo qué? Hostia, hola.
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
Así soy OP.
So young.
Estoy chiquita.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
20,000 billones de... trillones de... no sé.
Whoa.
Primera y única frase que dice el personaje hasta ahora.
Wow, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
El personaje habla. El personaje tiene voz. Qué sé yo, cualquier persona.
Ah, Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Qué rata, pero bueno.
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Son tres personas random al azar.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Sí, era hablarle a tres personas random al azar. El Chonli. ¿Qué onda?
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again.
Paimon, grítalo más.
And here you are looking all relaxed.
Sí.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyu kiosk.
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyu kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
¿Cómo es posible que Moras no tenga Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do.
En 2 semanas, muriéndose de hambre.
When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Mira quién lo dice.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that.
Sí. ¿Y después?
In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives.
Intercambiamos vidas. Sí, sí. Tengo 3 personas en el... ¿Perdón?
The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I must thank you for that.
Porque le gané al bicho gigante y no nos dejé matarnos, porque si lo hubiera hecho, no lo sé, hubiera salido y ahí sí.
I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
Fue un buen viaje, excepto esa parte en la que recuerdo que no nos ayudaste, pero Bueno.
That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
Por fin se acuerdan de esto.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
¿Cerrada? ¿Por qué?
Yes. The nation has been closed by order of its deity. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
Shogun.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
La Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year.
El año pasado no era tan grave, se dicen.
Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
Pues no, jaja, saludos.
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should...
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm.
Parece cierto país.
The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people.
Yes, it is.
7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles.
Cielo.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Ok, última parte. Vamos a leernos todo. ¿Qué hay de ese juicio?
That was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know.
Sí.
That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead.
No fue Paimon gritando, ¿verdad?
I hinted as much to the Adepti as well.
Okay.
How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions?
También.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
¿Qué pasó con el Chai? ¿Lo van a empalar y lo van a buscar?
Yeah,
Primero,
about that.
al revés.
Before the Chising made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Chising from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui.
Podría.
Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
¿Qué de las 7 estrellas de Liyue?
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Ya escuchamos eso como unas 4 veces.
Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Chising's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Oh, por Dios. Sobre el Mora.
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat?
Teyvat, ni siquiera aquí, en Teyvat. Toda la región, todo el mundo.
Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo-Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Te voy a golpear.
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Chising to debate.
Then,
Okay.
did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea.
Pues sí.
It's a shame.
XD.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time.
XD.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Olvídesela, señor, todo por ahora.
Well then,
No se preocupe.
I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
Puede. Terminamos. Capítulo 3, mira eso. Ahora 500 misiones más. Tetera. El ascenso de la cámara de Jade. Dainsleeve más. Por cierto, el ascenso de la cámara de Jade no lo he terminado en mi cuenta principal. Y ahora tenemos esto. Tenemos Sima. Y si Sima se hace real y canon, es probable que tengamos también en 2 versiones. Ay, tengo... Por Dios, qué exagerado es esto. Por Dios, qué exagerado es. No hay como mucho espacio aquí, en plan... Mucho. Dios mío santo. Bueno, ¿qué tengo por aquí? Pues no. Yay. Oh, Dios mío. Velocidad de luz, sprinta continuamente. O utiliza una habilidad alternativa a sprintar. Espérate, ¿estaban metiendo lo de Sayu y lo de Yelan también? 15 segundos. Adiós, amor perfecto. Completa, digamos, profesional. No contaste la cámara, pero recopilaste el extra matar, el preparativo de los eventos, la englaciado, infinito y más allá. Melómana. Esta vez te dejaré ir, claro. Haz que Osía, el señor de Botis se bata en retirada. El último adiós. Participa en el rito de ascenso. Una nueva estrella en ascenso. Lo terminamos. ¿Hay más cosas todavía? Esa no era. Algo más. La travesía del héroe. Asciende arma de nivel 2. ahora sí es todo. ¿Tenemos para un lanzamiento por los loles? ¡Por los loles! Digo, llevo solo un lanzamiento de que salió la señal. Pues nada, estamos pobres. En fin, ahora sí terminamos el directo porque se extendió un poquito. En plan, lo de YouTube no lo van a notar si acaso. Van a ser 3 capítulos, 4 que van a llegar. ¡Ah! Pues ahí están. Pero los de aquí, uff. Bien. Así que, bueno, así. Es todo por hoy, todo por ahora. Por el amor de Dios se extendió esto, pero lo logramos, pudimos terminarlo. Al final, esa pregunta sin respuesta quedó respondida. ¿Podremos? Pudimos. Así que nada.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Bueno, por el día de hoy fue suficiente, hicimos bastante. Y bueno, yo espero que lo hayan disfrutado y que hayan disfrutado de mis tonterías y mis habladurías y todo lo que ha pasado y tal. Así que nada, bueno, pues por hoy lo dejamos. Rey se despide, nos vemos en la próxima. Tengan buenos días, tardes, noches, como siempre, cuando vean mis videos. Y nada, se les quiere. Besos, abrazos. Chaito. Sí, bye. Chaito.